People may think SDY, who is he and is he good enough for NAVI? I would say yes so far. He's obviously just a stand-in for now, but he's a quality player.
Young turns his attention. Oh! All three! Is to sprint to that B bomb site, and time is against him. Back-to-back events, NAVI will be stuck in the quarterfinals.
Максим, убей. Максим, ну ты видишь, братан, блядь.
I don't even mind what s1mple was doing. If the alternative is leaving SDY alone inside of the bomb site with just no help at all.
He's had a couple of frustrating rounds, so NAVI gonna talk things over. They recovered the AWP just barely.
And Blade, you could see giving direct instructions to SDY.
s1mple benched.
Like, you have nothing to do with it. You just need to walk further and work on yourself and become better.
Since SDY joined the lineup a few months back, they've played 168 maps in officials, and they're winning well over half of those.
And s1mple just need to move a muscle, experience reigns true, and Monty will eliminate the Mongols from the major.
It's a charge into the A site that's going to feed the pistols of the CT side. s1mple turns back towards heaven to surely end this series. Or at least nuke, that is, and with Hartzau down, now the seconds in the open! s1mple got it bagged! Bomb is still able to cross, but here he comes, the soldier of sacrifice. s1mple flanks all the way and calls a glorious game versus Paint.
All right, so before we get into SDY's story, I need you to check out our new merch collection, like our Onward and Forward shirt over at shop.thescore.com. And, like always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any of our new content. All right, time to talk SDY. 2021 was NAVI's year. They were considered the best Counter-Strike team on the planet. They'd won an Intel Grand Slam, s1mple finally got his major trophy, and they capped the year off by taking home Blast's fall and world titles. NAVI looked untouchable, and there were no signs that their dominance was coming to an end. But looking back, 2022 marked the end of that era. They started off the year extremely slow and lost out in the final of the Antwerp Major. It just didn't seem like they were able to find their previous form. And shortly after the event, NAVI announced that in the wake of some personal developments, the team's IGL, Boomich, was removed from the active roster due to high reputational risks to the org. Filling the newly vacant spot was SDY, formerly s1mple, on a free loan from Mad Lions. So who was this guy? SDY is a Ukrainian rifler who left school to pursue a career in Counter-Strike. The CIS community knew him from his time with Team Spirit and Mad Lions, and although some fans didn't agree with the move, SDY was eager to prove that he was ready to take the next step in his career and compete at a Tier 1 level.
Це річ, про яку я мріяв все життя. Грати в Tier 1 Counter-Strike, попасти в NAVI, і саме це я мав на увазі, що це велика можливість і треба нею скористатися, щоб довести те, що це мій рівень і я маю право тут виступати.
I always thought he was underrated, to be completely honest, right? He's been playing Counter-Strike for quite some time. Back in 16, 17, he started to break out, and in Spirit in particular, he was always one of these like selfless players that was willing to die for the teammates, willing to go aggressive. So people may think SDY, who is he and is he good enough for NAVI? I would say yes so far. He's obviously just a stand-in for now, but he's a quality player.
Thing is, SDY was thrust straight into the roster for the Blast Spring Final, locked into a position that he wasn't exactly used to.
Now Electronica's IGL and obviously some roles and stuff have changed within the team. How are you feeling in your roles and position?
Still not the best. I have some uncomfortable positions, but I'm getting used to it pretty fast, and I think I'm doing a really good job in this. And also Electronic is pretty good color, I think.
But despite the challenging role change, SDY started his stint with NAVI off in style.
13 seconds here, Rain is there, erupts with a headshot, and they've done enough here. 8 seconds, s1mple trying to get the fight, and he's gonna get the last 2 kills. Long, I don't know about this, SDY, he tries, and he almost gets the double, but again, a lot of people on the other side. He lands the headshot on Nexa, but SDY, They haven't been able to get rid of him out on long. Fiku, he can't get the fight, and now there's no way home here. Dexter with 7 seconds. Time is running out. He tries to go for the fight, but no matter what, it's done. SmDaeYoung with an amazing hold.
SmDaeYoung, oh, he was turning for the flashbang. They don't got one. Easy double kill for him at the off angle. Add a third. Could be back-to-back quad kill rounds, and indeed it will be.
SmDaeYoung turns his attention. Oh! All three! Once more Pit from the side of it, and a single kill. There it is! Perfecto! The cherry on top as NAVI have turned around and dominated.
In his debut event with NAVI, SDY managed to lift a big piece of silverware, which seemed like the perfect start for any stand-in. But once the honeymoon phase was over, things took a turn. NAVI fell short to FaZe Clan in the Cologne Grand Finals and exited Pro League in the first round of top 8. But at the Rio Major, things got even worse. NAVI was, once again, knocked out in a tumultuous quarterfinal, and tensions within the team were starting to boil over. At Blast Fall Finals, a couple weeks later, anytime SDY made a mistake, s1mple was always there to make sure that he knew it was his fault. NAVI's superstar couldn't control his emotions as NiP knocked them out of the event. The atmosphere on NAVI felt pretty toxic, especially s1mple's behavior towards SDY, and fans were starting to take notice. The community genuinely felt bad for the way NAVI was treating him, and most people didn't believe that SDY was the sole reason for the team's poor performances. But after he played as a stand-in for nearly 6 months, NAVI decided to sub SDY out for nipple ahead of the Blast World Final. After losing to Liquid, NAVI decided that it was time to part ways with SDY at the end of the year. Although SDY's time with NAVI started off well, it ended in embarrassment. The team and players that he'd always dreamt of playing with just didn't seem to show him any respect. But perhaps it was a blessing in disguise. Because a month later, SDY joined Monty, rounding out their Ukrainian core. It was a fresh start on a new roster with way less pressure to perform. SDY wouldn't have s1mple and Blade breathing down his neck every time he made a mistake. Sure, he was mostly playing in some smaller online events, but Monty was improving fast with SDY in charge. They were grinding, and their performance at the European RMR even earned them a spot in the challenger stage at CSGO's final major in Paris.
Maui, you brought up an incredibly apt point about what they've been doing throughout the duration of 2023. They have been attending so many tournaments, grinding out so hard.
Yes, since SDY joined the lineup a few months back, they've played 168 maps in officials, and they're winning well over half of those. They're winning roughly 2/3 of those, and I think that the addition of SDY, because they were playing with Fessor before, it elevated this team immensely.
Although they lost their opener against FaZe, it was an extremely close map. Monty showed that they could hang with the best, and they carried that momentum throughout the rest of the challenger stage.
This 1v3 is highly unlikely. Oh, bad way for it to start. Really not a bad way for it to start. That looked dead on. Gonna go back again. Woro 2K. He might crumble in this 1v1. Woro does it. And what a round. What a clutch. 4 kills. Mongols out of the major. They're on the stick. They get off it. Bomb ticking. And SmDaeYoung doesn't need to move a muscle. Experience reigns true. And Monty will eliminate the Mongols from the major.
Little burst out from Hut. Ooh, it is an ace. A very quick one at that. It's a charge into the A site that's going to feed the pistols of the CT side. SmDaeYoung turns back towards heaven to surely end this series. Or at least nuke, that is. And with Hardzao down, now the seconds in the open. SmDaeYoung's got it bagged. But here he comes, the soldier of sacrifice. SmDaeYoung flanks all the way and calls a glorious game versus Pain. A moment of glory for Monty.
Is there anything you want to say to everyone out there, and how proud are you just of being able to make it this far and get to Legends, mate? Again now, not with NAVI this time, but with Monty.
We're proud to the roof. SDY Legend again. Slava Ukraini.
Qualifying for the Legend stage was already a massive achievement for a roster like Monty. But SDY didn't just prove that he could perform at the highest level. He showed that he could lead his young stars against some of the world's best. And he continued to do so, taking down Furia and Fnatic before losing a somewhat close series to the home favorites, Vitality. But then, things got personal. With a spot in the champion stage up for grabs, SDY would have to take down the very team who dropped him only 5 months prior. He'd have to take down the team and players who humiliated him all last year, NAVI. And he was ready to get his revenge.
But here comes Krasnal. He's still on the site, as is Boros. Electronic the one.
Ooh.
A well-tamed spray from Krasnal for his second make it 3. He's locking down B. It's only s1mple and a 4th for Krasnal. And now a 2 versus 2 emerges with a lot to play for. They don't have the time. They don't have the time, and they don't have the health. It's only s1mple. He's still thinking about the 18th of September. As Monty securing top 8, 1 frag away. Can Boros end it here? Yes, he can! That is beautiful!
Monty didn't just beat NAVI, they demolished them. 16-2 on Nuke. For s1mple and the rest of the roster, this was embarrassing. And to top it all off, SDY dominated the server with 43 frags and a 1.47 rating. Monty may have fallen short in Paris in the end, but they finished top 8 at CSGO's last ever major in front of thousands of screaming fans. It was an achievement that they and the rest of the Counter-Strike community are unlikely to ever forget. Even though the game has entered a new age with CS2, Monty continues to grind and compete with the world's best, with SDY at the helm. He has been thriving ever since he got kicked from NAVI, proving that maybe, just maybe, NAVI made a mistake. That perhaps SDY wasn't the problem after all. One thing is beyond certain, though. SDY is cut out for Tier 1 Counter-Strike. He simply fell victim to circumstances outside of his control on a team rife with issues. So even though his time on NAVI may not have panned out as he would have hoped, in the end, SDY is the one who got the last laugh.
They said I was 70 IQ, kicked me from the team. So I cut my hair to start fresh.
You want to know how I got this hair? 20 years of North American Counter-Strike.